So we're still in 7.5, part 2 notes. I just kind of split it up a little bit because I wanted to show you the plus plus, minus plus. We're going to look at a couple different forms today. So it's still technically considered factoring polynomials of the form x squared plus bx plus c. So that's why it's titled that. So you don't necessarily have to write this down. This is just kind of an introduction. So Tuesday, the other day, we dealt with polynomials that we call sum and product, because that second sign was a plus sign. So sum, and then it turned into a product over here. That's why they were called sum and products. So those polynomials that we dealt with on Tuesday were of one of the following forms. It was either x squared plus bx plus c, which turned into x plus a number times x plus a number, correct? Or they were the form x squared minus bx plus c, which turned into the form x minus a number times x minus a number. That's what we just saw in our bell work, correct? Today we're going to look at polynomials that we call difference in products. So we call them difference in products because that second sign is a subtraction sign, and then they turn into multiplication when we factor. So these polynomials will be one of the following forms. They will either be x squared plus bx minus c, or x squared minus bx minus c. And if you notice, they both take on the same form when they're factored. Okay? So, what that means for us is, if we see a minus sign right here instead of a plus sign, I'm just going to have opposite signs in my parentheses. One's a plus, one's a minus. Does that make sense? Tuesday, we had a plus sign. They were the same. Today we're going to have a minus sign. They're going to be different. Okay? This sign, the first sign, will go with our bigger number. Because if you think about it, when you're adding and we have a positive and a negative, the bigger number takes control of what our answer is, right? So if I have 8 plus negative 5, my answer is a positive 3. So that 8 would have that positive sign. If we had negative 8 plus 5, my answer would be negative 3. So that negative would be with the 8. Does that kind of make some sense before we jump into some examples? So this sign being a minus sign tells me my signs are different. This sign will go with the bigger number. Okay? Any questions there? All right. Examples 1 through 5. We have x squared plus 2x minus 24. We're still going to treat it the same way we did yesterday. We're going to make our two sets of parentheses. Fill in our variable. What's our variable here? X. I know doing our signs was step 3. Let's go ahead and make it step 2 real quick. If I have a minus sign here, what does that tell me? They're going to be opposite. So one's plus, one's minus. So I'm going to put plus and minus. If you want to put minus and then plus, that's fine. You just got to make sure the correct sign is with the correct number. So just like on our bell work, we're going to make our T-chart. So what goes in my first spot? Negative 24. What goes in my second spot? 2. So I want to list out all my factors for negative 24. So what would be my first factor? Say what? Negative 1 and 24. What would be the opposite of those? Positive 1 and negative 24. Right? Everyone okay with that? So would that make the next two? 2 and negative 12. Negative 2 and positive 12. And we'll see what we're doing. We're just listing all the factors of negative 24. Negative 3 and 8. 3 and negative 8. 4 and negative 6. Negative 4 and positive 6. And is that all of them? That is all of them. So now let's start adding across. So what's negative 1 plus 24? 23. 1 plus negative 24. Negative 23. 2 plus negative 12. Negative 10. Negative 2 plus 12. Positive 10. Have we found it yet? No. Negative 3 plus 8. 5. 3 plus negative 8. Negative 5. 4 plus negative 6. Negative 2. Negative 4 plus 6. Positive 2. So which one is it? The last one. So, negative 4 and positive 6 are my two factors. So I need to plug those in, but be very, very careful. Don't just go be all ambitious and throw your 4 here and your 6 here. Is that correct? No, it's not. So I have negative 4 and positive 6. Everyone okay with that? And remember, you can always check yourself because this sign will go with the bigger number. So our bigger number here is 6. So that 6 needs to be with the plus sign. So here would be my answer for number 1. Any questions there? Not too bad? It's still the same process as the X puzzle. It just forces you to kind of list out all the factors. Okay? Can I erase and move to 2? I need to start writing smaller. Our numbers are going to get bigger. Okay, number 2. Draw my 2 sets of parentheses. What's my variable? Y. What does this sign tell us if it's a minus sign? They're going to be opposite signs. So let's put the minus first and then the plus first. Or second, I mean. Let's create our T-chart. What goes in the first slot? Negative 12. Second slot? Negative 1. Remember, if there's no number in front of our variable, it's understood to be 1. There's a minus sign with it, so it's negative 1 in front of that y. Any questions so far? Okay, someone raise your hand and give me my first factor of negative 12. Or first two factors, I guess. 1 times negative 12 and negative 1 times 12. Raise your hand if you can give me my next two. What's after 1? 2 and negative 6. Negative 2 and positive 6. Raise your hand if you give me my next two. And is that it? That is it. So start adding down or across the columns. What's 1 plus negative 12? Negative 11. Negative 1 plus 12. Positive 11. 2 plus negative 6. Negative 4. Negative 2 plus 6. Positive 4. 3 plus negative 4. Negative 1. Negative 3 plus 4. 1. So which one is it? 3 plus negative 4. Go ahead and circle it on your T-chart. And make sure you have the 3 with the plus sign, the 4 with the minus sign. Once again, this first sign is a minus sign, so I know the bigger number gets the minus sign. Everyone good with that? We all taking notes? Can I erase and move to 3? What's our variable? N. What are my two signs? Yep, we got that minus sign there. It tells me they're opposite. What goes in my first slot? Negative 24. And my second slot? Negative 5. Don't forget that negative with it. Okay. First two factors of negative 24. 1, negative 24. We did this one earlier, didn't we? What's the next one? Everyone with me? Next one. Next one. Is that all of them? All right. Start adding. Is everyone okay if I kind of add through these pretty quick? So I get negative 23, positive 23, negative 10, 10, negative 5, 5, negative 2, and 2. So which two numbers are going to go into my parentheses? 3 and negative 8. Go ahead and circle them. Which one gets the plus sign? 3. The minus sign goes with the 8. There'd be my answer for number 3. Any questions there? Not too bad? We all right with it? We all right with the T-chart? Getting more comfortable with it? Okay, number 4. What's my variable? R. The sign's minus, so what does that tell me? They're different signs. All right, we got negative 80. Whew, that's a big one. I'm going to start my T-chart over here, and then I'll continue it over there to the right. So what goes in the first slot? Negative 80, and then positive 2. All right. So what's the first factor of negative 80? 1 negative 80, and negative 1 and positive 80. What's next? 2 negative 40, negative 2 and positive 40. Does 3 go into 80? No. Does 4 go into 80? 4, negative 20, negative 4, and positive 20. I'll create my T-chart over here also. Okay, does 5 go into 80? 5 and what? Negative 16, and negative 5 and positive 16. What about 6? No, 6 doesn't go into 80. What about 7? No. What about 8? 8, negative 10, negative 8 and positive 10. What about 9? Nope. And we already got 10. So is that all of them? Yes, it is. Now let's go through and add. That's going to give me negative 79, positive 79, negative 38, positive 38, negative 16, positive 16. That'll give me, what would that give me? 5 plus negative 16. Negative 11, positive 11, negative 2, 2. So which two numbers am I going to be putting in the parentheses? Negative 8, positive 10. Go ahead and circle it on your T chart. So I get R plus what? R plus 10. That 10 has to go with the positive. R minus 8. Is my answer wrong if I put R plus 8, R minus 10?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Because that would add up to give me negative 2, right? Make sure you put the correct number with the correct sign. Did everyone hear that? Say it with me. Make sure you put the correct number with the correct sign. Say it again. Make sure you put the correct number with the correct sign. It's not like yesterday, or Tuesday I mean, where it didn't matter where we put it in the parentheses, because they were the same signs, right? Here they're opposite signs, so I've got to worry about where they go. Does it matter if I put R minus 8 times R plus 10? No, because the correct number's with the correct signs, right? My multiplication, once again, is commutative, so I can move those things around. Work on number 5 on your own using the T-chart. Work on number 5 on your own using the T-chart. Work on number 5 on your own, using the T-chart. All right, what's the first factor of negative 16? 1, negative 16, negative 1, positive 16. What's the next one? 2, negative 8, negative 2, positive 8. What else? 4, negative 4. Negative 4, 4. And is that it?
Yes.
That is it. What's 1 plus negative 16? Negative 15. Positive 15. 2 plus negative 8? Negative 6. Positive 6. And then over here I get 0 and 0. So which two numbers are they? Positive 2, negative 8. Go ahead and circle it. So I get 2 plus what? Or y plus what, I mean? Y plus 2. Y minus 8. Here'd be my answer. How can I always check my answer? Foil it out. What'd you say? You can also make sure the bigger number has the first sign to make sure you have the correct signs. And then once again, you can always FOIL it out. If you get back to the original polynomial, then that means you have factored correctly. Okay? Any questions there? Not too bad? Like I said, it's the same concept as the X puzzle. It just forces you to list out all those factors. So for number 5, let's show it using the X puzzle. What goes in the top of this X puzzle? Negative 16, and the bottom? Negative 6. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to give me negative 16 add to give me -6. What are they? -8 and +2. There you go. Any questions? Like I said, since I've already taught you the X puzzle, I'm not going to force you to quit using it. If that works for you and you like it better, I'm okay if you keep using it. Okay? Just know that in future math classes, you're probably going to start seeing the T-chart more. Everyone got it? So I would highly, highly, highly encourage you, if you prefer to use the X puzzle, I'm okay if you use it for some of them, but I want you to use the T-chart on some of them also to get that practice. Everyone okay with that? All right. I'm going to pass out the assignment. Do we have any questions before I end the recording? All right, this assignment will be due tomorrow on Canvas.